my name is Corey Hart. I'm an education specialist with Vermont Fish and Wildlife. And today we're standing on one of many Vermont trout streams. We have trout streams across Vermont. Basically, any brook or stream that you cross coming out of the mountains that has water in it is going to have trout. If you just want to catch a trout, a nice worm is all that it takes. And we use a technique called worm drifting. And what that is, I'm going to take my worm, take a small, about size 8 hook. It's a nice tiny hook. A small split shot, and you want it to be a nice lightweight split shot. So what's going to happen is when I cast it upstream, it's just going to bounce along the boulders and drift nicely. If my split shot's too heavy, it's going to be like an anchor and keep it there, and the worm's not going to look natural as it's going through the water. Now when I'm looking for a spot to fish, not all spots are created equal. So some spots are going to hold fish a lot better than others. So hopefully you can see it on the camera behind me. Up by where that little embankment is, where you got the roots kind of sticking out, that would be an area that would hold fish. So anytime you have an undercut of the bank, that's going to give you some nice shelter. Some deeper waters, deep pools, areas where you have current, creating more pools down undersides of rocks. And we always fish, when we're trout fishing, we fish from, you're going to walk upstream. And the reason for that is when fish are positioning themselves in the water, they're typically facing upstream. So if I go from downstream and fish up, I'm not going to spook them. That said, you still want to be very careful when you're walking. So if I'm walking and I'm walking right in the river, splashing, I'm going to spook those fish before I have a chance. If I'm walking on the shore, you oftentimes see people actually crouching on the water, or they'll crouch right up in the bushes, and what they're doing is they're trying to cast in without spooking the fish. For the rod we're going to use, remember I'm not using much weight, so I have really thin lines, so I have about 4-pound test. I have a tiny hook and a tiny seeker. So in order to cast it out there, I need a nice ultralight trout rod. So this is a small ultralight rod. It's about 4.5, 5 feet long. This is all it takes. Basically all you need is a small rod, lightweight line, and a worm. Alright, so now I'm going to show you all how to make a simple trout fishing rig. And they're very, very easy. All I'm going to do, I have a size 8 bait holder hook, and I just attach that with a simple clinch knot. And then about 8 inches up, you're going to go with a small split shot, and usually about BB size is what you would want, and it's just enough that it's going to bounce down the river. You don't want to get hung up on boulders or anything like that because you want it to appear natural. And the last thing I'm going to add is a nice trout worm, and you can get these at the store, or you can just flip a log over and find your own worms that way. To attach it, you don't want to put it on just once, because if I was to hook it one time and have it dangle like this as it's going through the water, a fish is going to grab onto it and it's just going to grab the worm and not the hook. So when I'm attaching it, I actually want to hook it on there a couple times. And there's one other thing about these hooks that you should know as well. Hooks, when you buy them in the store, are going to come with barbs. With the barbs, it's entirely up to the angler and if they want to pinch them down or not. If you're doing a lot of catch and release angling, you may want to pinch the barb down. If you plan on keeping your fish, you might want to leave the barb on. Same with if you're fishing with children that are just getting started fishing, pinching down that barb can help you out as well. But now I've got my worm on, I got my sinker, got my ultralight rod, I'm ready to go fishing.